Okay, right, so we're now going to assemble the rear suspension, which is a plunger type. Probably see on the document that it's got all its bits and pieces laid out there. When I did the trial fit, I also made my own plan, so I know what goes where and how it all goes together. So following the layout, it's all laid out in front of me, and then this eventually will be put it together and it will make up just one of the suspensions. There's two and it'll make up one. Now when I took the suspension to pieces, it had all rusted and got encrusted and one thing and another. So these shiny bits here is where I've actually ground it down to make sure that everything fits together. Importantly, this bracket here, which holds the wheel, goes. There's a little indentation in the pipe. I don't know if you can see it there. And that indentation is where the bolt, when the bolt passes through, the bolt will lie like that, and it just fits in just quite nicely. And the bolt will go through the hole, and the indentation will be just there. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. Just there, and it will hold against the pipe, so it'll make it a nice, tight, secure fit. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grease this a little bit to make the fitting of the wheel holder easier to do. So I'm just going to get some grease. I don't want lots of grease on it, just a little bit. And I like using the red rubber grease because it's waterproof and it seems to do the job for me. So we'll just give us a little smattering of grease to not only facilitate the easing of the wheel holder up and down this main shaft, but also it'll protect it from the ravages of rust and goodness knows what else that goes on it. So there we go, that's enough really for there. So as I said, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put that so that the wheel holder will hold on to it, and we'll just push it on because it's just a push fit. Oh, there we go. And as I mentioned earlier about the indentation, I'm going to twiddle the wheel holder round and just slide it up so that I can see the holder. Now what also is of interest is that there's two little holes just there and just there, and it's a standard part. So the reason those holes are there is because when you put the nut and bolt on it, so when it fits, the grease nipple is just fits nicely over it so that the grease will flow nicely inside the pipe. So I'm going to dip the edge of the bolt in grease just to protect it. I'm going to slide the bolt through, washer, spring washer. Oh, spring washer's gone missing. Not to worry, I'll go find it again, that must have fallen off. Spring washer and the nut. Oh, that's why. I remember why we didn't do that on this one. Washer, and this is a nylock nut. So it's got a little, inside the nut is a little piece of nylon, and as you tighten it up, it negates the time for a spring washer to be there. Because I've jiggered around a little bit, I've taken it off the indentation, so I've just lined it up again to put the indentation on. I'm just going to do the bolt up. There we go. And on these nuts with the nylocks on, you can do it up and then you just feel it tightening up, and that's when you have to revert to your spanners. So I'm just going to tighten it up. Sure, I'm just going to position that over the indentation again so that I don't cause any bother. There you go, and then I'll nip that up when it's on the suspension, and there we go. That's that. So that's the first bit done. So the next piece is to assemble the cups, and we'll do the bottom one first because it's the easiest really, it's the spring. Okay, right, so we've got the wheel carrier fastened onto the central core, making sure that the indentation is in line with the bolt. And what we'll do now is we'll build up the bottom part of the spring. So the chrome cap on the bottom part has got a little hole, and the carrier, the green cover, is on the top part of it, has got a big hole. So what we do is we take the little washer, which is a dust washer, which would be there. Now I'll just push it through to show you. It would hold that dust washer and prevent the dust from coming in, but we can't put this bolt on the suspension because it won't allow it between the suspension holes on the frame. So we take the little washer, the dust washer, and we bob it in. We take the little spring, and there's a lot of difference between the springs, as you can see. The little spring can compress, the big spring not so much as easy to do. So it goes on, and then on the top is the carrier to go on the top of the spring, which will evenly distribute the pressure on the top of the green carrier. So it's like that, and then we put the suspension on, pass it through, and there you go. That's the bottom part of the suspension for the Bantam. So what we'll do now is we'll build the top part of it. Now the top part is the reverse, whereas the bottom has got a little hole, the top has got a big hole. And like before, there's the carrier on top that holds the spring, and we bob the spring that onto it so it's sitting home. We take the chrome carrier, we put the chrome carrier over the suspension. Oh, I forgot to mention the dust that goes on the top, that goes just inside the spring on this one. So it's just like that, just down a little bit. Take the green carrier, put it on the top, and then fold it over. So it goes like that, and there you go. That's the suspension for the Bantam. Literally is as easy as that. When you think about all the air compression suspensions that's on the other bikes nowadays, that's it. So all we've got to do now is take this and put it onto the bike, and we'll do that now.